For anybody who's new here, hi, I'm Chesh. I cover politics and a lot of other goobery things, but if you're following from over on Debate Hub where I do more educational, political, professional stuff, that's not this place. I don't do that here. We're here to do goober things. So, speaking of Canadian politics, a senator named Adam Schiff, senator and American, he's got a message for Canada. It's pretty short, so I figured I'd take a listen to it and see what this American senator has to say to me. From my understanding, he's a Democrat, but let's just see what he has to say.
So tonight I want to talk to Canada about Canada. I would say my feelings toward our neighbor to the north were best summarized by President John F. Kennedy on his first trip out of the United States as president.
Geography has made us neighbors. History has made us friends. Economics has made us partners. And necessity...
Nothing bad has ever happened to the Kennedys. Sorry, I have brain rot. If you guys have never seen Clone High, you're missing out.
...has made us allies. Those whom nature has so joined together, let no man put asunder.
Let no man tear asunder. Sadly, today, one man has torn that relationship asunder, and that's what I want to talk about today. Because I remember vividly in October of 2016, I remember like it was yesterday, when Americans were first starting to question who we were and where we were headed. I remember that Canadians put together a beautiful video, a video of Canadians describing the great things that America had done, the things that we had invented, the contributions we were making to the world. I remember watching that video and how it made me feel about being an American. And I'd like you to take a look at what you had to say, Canada.
But as you're thinking about your future, we just want you to know that
you guys are great.
You really are great. You invented the internet.
You guys are going to get humanity to Mars.
Your national park systems protect some of the most beautiful places on Earth.
All your diversity and all...
Oh, this hasn't aged well, has it? Oh no. So the national parks have been defunded. America kind of invented the internet. There's a little bit more to it than that, but sure. Diversity. Oh, that's unfortunate.
All your openness.
The fact that you're such a giving nation, over $250 billion a year is donated to charities.
So wonderful and warm and accommodating.
When things are tough, you fight to make them better. The disability rights movement in America is amazing.
You are infectious, entertaining.
Your gift to the world of jazz music.
Bluegrass music.
I agree. I agree with the infectious part.
R&B.
Biggie and Pac. And
Political and social activism.
forging new paths.
You dream big.
Your quest to be the best creates the best.
A land of opportunity where anyone can be anything they want to be.
The vibrancy and diversity and the idea that we can all live together.
You know, America, I think you're already great.
You're great, America.
We all love you, and we think you've always been great.
Thanks, America.
How bad was... When did this come out? Why did Canada make this video? America was this like in and around 9/11? Was this because like I'm trying to think about like when did America get so fragile that it needed like a fucking a good ball washing from Canada to be like, come on, you guys are great. Like what is happening? Or is this an intervention? Why did we do this?
I think you're great. Stay great, America.
When I think of that video now, I have to say it breaks my heart because I know there is such anger and animosity directed at the United States from Canada, which I can more than understand. But as you were so kind to remind us Americans of the better angels of our nature, I want to take this opportunity to say a few thank yous to you, Canada, to remind Americans what we have to be so grateful for with our Canadian friends and neighbors. Let me start with the most significant.
This is sad. I I'm not gonna speak for all Canadians, because I'm not all Canadians. I do think I have got a decent bead on how Canada's kind of the vibe and how we kind of are currently feeling overall as a nation. And yes, I do have some polls that we could take a look at. Just really quick, just really briefly, fuck off. Like, you're flapping of your gums right now to thank us for all we've done for you, while you're terrifying us, attacking us, questioning our sovereignty, arresting our people at the border for no reason, and then detaining them in terrible conditions, and then putting extra fucking shit on, like, you're saying this is a message to Canada for Canadians, but that's not what this is. This is you trying to pander to Americans to be like, come on, America, you know that Canada's our friend, right? Like, come on, remember how great the Canadians are to us? We know what we did for you. Your thanks means nothing. And, like, you don't think we see through this? Like, this is so disingenuous. Good God, man. Thank us by doing something. And, like, that's a very Canadian attitude, right? It's a very Canadian attitude to be like, I mean, thanks, bud. Anyway, like, what are you doing, though? Because what you're doing is what's more important than what it is you're saying. So, like, I appreciate it, but, like, fuck off? Like, oh, no.
And that is that Canada, you have stood by our side in practically every war that we have been in. You have fought next to us, you have died next to us, whether it was Canadian soldiers and American soldiers in World War I.
Okay, you need to talk to, again, we're back to, you need to talk to your people who don't know this, not us. One of the first people we covered in Canada versus MAGA was somebody who said that Canadians don't get a say because they've never fought and they've never had military fighting and dying for America.
You don't know American issues. You know, I say that because she's not had a military person fighting wars to defend America. She's not.
That is a lie. Canada has fought in every single bullshit fucking war America has put out to Article 5, Afghanistan, Iraq. Those were American wars where Canadians fought and died for America's freedom. You absolute fucking numpty. Oh my God. Go fuck yourself. Americans killed Canadian soldiers via incompetency during that war. So again, we're back to who is this message actually for? Because I don't think it's for me. I don't think it's for Canada. So what are you even doing?
Or Canadians and Americans in World War II, or Canadians who came to our aid after 9/11 and served side by side with us in Afghanistan and died.
And during 9/11 and redirecting flights, and Canadians who were at the towers at the time and in America, like, you know, like, we view 9/11 as attack on us too, right? That's why it would, like, the thing that got blown up was the World Trade Center. That's one of the reasons why, like, a lot of other countries even felt the need to get involved, or felt that this was attack on kind of everybody, not just America, because it was the World Trade. Never mind, you don't know that.
By our side, Canada, you have been there for us in the most meaningful way possible, that you have put the lives of your sons and daughters on the line for your friends and neighbors out of a shared friendship and out of our shared values. And of that, I am the most grateful. And I wish our president had some recollection of that. But there.
Bro, then do something about it. Like, again, one of the problems that we're facing right now, and some of the rhetoric that you see coming out of particularly the leading candidate for our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, is that our relationship with America is over, or the prior relationship is done. We need to forge new relationships, and we need to build new stuff, specifically because your country doesn't share our values anymore. We don't share values. We value education. We value diversity. We value different perspectives. We value people's rights. You don't. America does not value human rights. America does not value free speech. America does not value its own people. America doesn't value diversity and inclusion and, like, just having different perspectives on things. It sure as hell doesn't value education. It hasn't spent money on education and research in years. Not any real money. These are not values that we share anymore and have not shared in a long time. So when you're talking about, like, I wish my president shared and remembered these values, the problem is that you voted him in twice. This is what the people wanted. This is what Americans wanted. And even if it's not the majority, let's say he doesn't win the popular vote, right? Even if it's not the popular vote. Yeah, it doesn't value health. Yeah, that's a good point. Even if you throw that in there, right? You run into this very, very big problem that an incredibly large portion of Americans do not value the same things that the majority of Canadians value. And I can say the majority of Canadians with confidence because right now you're polling at an 87% of Canadians are saying what I'm telling you right now. That we do not share those values. So it's a problem and a mistake, I think, to shift that onto, well, it's just the president. I wish our president shared these, like, understood and remembered that we share these values. We don't share these values. You can't fix a problem until you acknowledge what the problem is. And until Americans are willing to acknowledge the problem, they can't start fixing it because they're either in denial, they're shifting the blame, or they're not directing their anger in the right way. So the problem will never be stopped, and they're easily going to get led around by the nose, which is exactly what we're seeing. It's not like Canadians were equally as frustrated and disenfranchised with their government after COVID. We came out of COVID kind of pretty running parallel. But we don't want what you have. We don't want to be American. We don't like what America does. We haven't for a long time. We've tried to forge and maintain the relationship, but it's been a one-way street for a really, really long time. It's been a one-way street since 9/11, if not longer, at least. At best, you could say it's like Afghanistan. At best. To me, this comes off as a very gross misunderstanding of where Canadians are at, where it's tone deaf. This is tone deaf. It doesn't understand where Canadians are at. It doesn't understand where Americans are at. It's talking to people like they're children, and it's completely misunderstanding, and even till this point, misrepresenting history. Like, specifically Canada's military history. Like, oh, it was our brothers and sisters in World War II. Motherfucker, do you have any idea what Canada did during World War I and World War II? You have any idea how much Americans or Canadians were just shoved into the worst fucking situations because nobody else wanted to do that? As if America was a part of World War II the whole time? Like, no. Please, could you guys at least get this shit and this information correct and show that you actually know anything about us before you try to placate us with platitudes about, oh my god, thanks for helping us in World War II. Shut the fuck up! asshole!
There is so much else for us to be grateful about our Canadian friends and neighbors, and not just as Americans, but as people of the world. My father was dependent on insulin for most of his adult life. I thank you, Canada, for insulin. And America, if you have anybody you know on insulin, you can thank Canada too. If you're concerned about the Ebola virus spreading, you can thank Canada for an Ebola vaccine.
So one of the fun things about the insulin, so insulin invented in Canada, yes. Invented by a Canadian, yes. There was there was a team, but there was like the lead doctor, yada 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 yada. Right. We all know this. The thing that mattered and was really important about insulin is that the person who invented it like gave it away. Right? Like, let me pull this up. McLeod and Banting were particularly reluctant to patent their process for insulin on grounds of medical ethics. Concern remains that a private third party would hijack and monopolize the research, and the safe distribution would be difficult to guarantee without capacity for quality control. It was a concern that they wouldn't fucking be able to get it to people, and it wouldn't be affordable for people to actually be able to use it, and that the quality couldn't be maintained. It's insulting. It's insulting for a fucking American to come on a fucking YouTube as a fucking senator and be like, thanks, Canada, for insulin, after how hard the Canadian had to work to even not only make the damn thing, get the damn thing out there, but then also had to fight his ass off to ensure that it wouldn't be bought out by a third party and fucked up. It's a really uniquely fucking American problem that he has to overcome. So if you're going to sit here and you're going to be like, we want to thank Canadians, you need to actually understand what it is you're thanking us for. You're not thanking us for the invention of insulin. You're thanking us for the distribution of it being so cheap that you have fucked up for your people, which is the problem. Who are you talking to?
About the Ebola virus spreading, you can thank Canada for an Ebola vaccine. If you have a family member...
You're telling like half of Americans are anti-vax. Like a large portion of Americans think that vaccines are evil and cause autism. You're telling those Americans to thank blaming Canada for autism now. Like, we all know that that's not true. We know that, but they don't know that. So they're gonna hear this and be like, oh, you mean all the evil government chips? That all the evil things that are getting injected into our bodies? That's all Canada? Oh! This is so stupid.
With a pacemaker, thank you, Canada, for pacemakers. If you like PB&J, thank you, Canada, well, at least for the peanut butter. If you thrill to going to an IMAX movie, thank you, Canada, for that amazing technology. If you have been inspired by Captain Kirk to want to boldly go...
Alexander Graham Bell was Canadian. He was also super anti-deaf people and was kind of a piece of shit about that for some reason. I don't know. He thought like something like being deaf was genetic or something, and like wanted to like erase deaf people. I don't know. It's wanted to like quote unquote try to like breed them out of existence or some weird shit. Anyway, Alexander Graham Bell is Canadian. He invented the phone. So like Captain Kirk,
where no man has gone before.
You can thank Canada. If you're a hockey fan, you can thank Canada for the greatest that ever was.
Oh, this is really tone deaf. Everyone in Canada fucking hates Wayne Gretzky. Did you just not Google anything before you put this together? Yo, okay, so here's the thing. So Wayne Gretzky... Eugenist, yes, thank you, that's the term. So, like, here's the thing with Wayne Gretzky, right? So besides the fact that he basically lives in America all the time now, and he's an asshole in general, like, he's just kind of an arrogant prick, he was awarded the same thing that Mark Carney actually was awarded. It was like it's like a special Canada medal for like doing things for doing great things for Canada, quote unquote. So the 2008 financial crisis, Carney got the award. Terry Fox got it, etc., etc., etc. I think that Terry Fox might have gotten it after. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Wayne Gretzky was awarded this thing, but he doesn't have it because he never actually showed up to get it. So he just ignored it. And so like that already pissed off a bunch of Canadians because it's like, wow, okay, sure. And then on top of it, he's like chumming around with Trump, and he was chumming around with like the what's that security guy? Some other guy they caught pictures of him chumming around. And so like Canadians have like disowned Wayne Gretzky. Like if we had not disowned him by now, like like his association with Donald Trump, like he's boycotted too. Like his wine's been boycotted. He's got like a winery, it's like Wayne Gretzky fucking, he's got his name on it and shit, and it's overpriced, and like that's getting boycotted too. Like it's getting the American treatment up here. So like to try to appeal to Canadians by bringing up hockey and then and using Wayne Gretzky while everybody's like, yo, fuck that guy, is probably not really on the beat of. And I would like to point out that this is from April 11th. This is from like a couple of days ago. This isn't like old, right? This isn't old. This is our new video. Just
a one-man show, Wayne Gretzky.
If you have thrilled to the idiocy of this guy,
Cannot triple stamped it. No erases. Touch blue make it.
Okay, so Jim Carrey isn't an idiot. Somebody making funny faces because they're a comedy actor. It's this is so bad. This is so bad. Have you seen any of Jim Carrey's work that is not comedy? Have you seen anything that Jim Carrey has done in the last like 10 years? Why is this so bad? Is he about to bring up Bieber? Because if he does, he's trolling. I swear to God, if he says like and subscribe at the end of this, I'm gonna flip out.
No, you can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lord. You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
you can thank Canada. If you like basketball, if you're grateful for the invention of basketball, you can thank Canada. Thank you, Canada, for basketball. If you love music, there is so much to be grateful to Canada for. Can I get a hallelujah on that? Hallelujah. So I want to thank you, Canada, for all you've contributed.
I want to die.
Contributed in the fields of art and science and music and film, to all the Nobel Prizes that you've won, for all the inventions that you have produced. I want to thank you for the sacrifices you've made on the battlefield. I want to thank you, and most particular and most recent, I want to thank you for something else.
Can we just stop, pretty please? No, cringe. We're gonna cringe into oblivion. Cringe with me.
When fires ravaged my hometown of Los Angeles, when they were still burning in Altadena and they were burning in the Palisades, I went to one of the incident command centers, and I had the privilege of serving food to the firefighters who were battling those blazes. And I can't tell you how many of those firefighters were Canadians. And
if you were trying to thank us, you should probably know how many of those firefighters were Canadian. Like, you couldn't, like, Google it? You couldn't look it up and be like, how many of those people were firefighters? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't expect you to, like, recognize them on site during the fight. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say if you're gonna make a video to Canadians, for Canadians, about Canada, or even if you're going to make a video about Canada thanking Canadians for Americans, you should probably Google at least how many, Canadians were sent. Like, good God, dude. Hold on. How many Canadian firefighters were dispatched to the Los Angeles wildfires. Government response to the wildfires in California. January 10th, 2025, Ottawa, Ontario can express their deepest sadness at the devastating wildfires currently impacting South California. This is from the Government of Canada's website. Two CL-415 water bombers. So this is the recent one, by the way. This is the recent LA fires, not the, these are the ones from 2000. This is ones from January, right? So like, boom, Canada joins the fight against Los Angeles area wildfires. 2025. 250 firefighters, aircraft equipment, and other resources as early as Thursday. Wow. That was so hard to find, guys. It was so hard. It was so difficult to just quickly look up how many firefighters were in California. So just say they sent over 250 because, like, there's, like, and other resources. Because the other resources could be, like, not just firefighters, but, like, people. You know what I mean? So like, you could also just call. You can pick up the phone. You're an American senator. Just fucking do. Hi, yeah. How many firefighters did you guys send to California? Like, all this does is demonstrate how flippant, how flippant and entitled American and Americans in power feel about the help that Canada gets them. Well, yeah, thank you for that. We don't know anything about it, or what that cost you, or what that means to you, or how many people you even actually sent.
When fires ravaged my hometown of Los Angeles, when they were still burning in Altadena and they were burning in the Palisades, I went to one of the incident command centers, and I had the privilege of serving food to the firefighters who were battling those blazes. And I can't tell you how many of those firefighters were Canadians. And I want to thank you, Canada, for sending those firefighters, many of them from Alberta, to help us battle those blazes. Sadly, I remember one of them asking me, coming back after he had his meal and asking me, do we have to worry about Canada becoming the 51st state? And I said, no, you don't have to worry about that crazy idea, that demeaning idea. But I want to tell you just how grateful I am.
Well, I guess he was wrong, because that is definitely a concern and is still an ongoing concern. And it's a concern for a lot of... So, did you just say that to be comforting to this guy that you had this conversation with? Because this is still a very large concern. The only person who's done anything about Trump's rhetoric so far about Canada's sovereignty is Mark Carney, our Prime Minister. I don't understand why you would say, no, you don't need to worry about any of that. Like, unless you were trying to... Here's the thing. I can understand why you would answer that way in the scenario as it's presented, right? In the story that he's telling, I can understand why you would answer somebody that way. But I don't know why, in April of 2025 now, this is January, February, March, April, right? Why, when you're telling the story and you're talking to Canadians, that you're trying to, why are you trying to placate Canadians about their concerns about Donald Trump and Donald Trump's rhetoric? I don't know why why? We have every right to be concerned, and we have every right to be angry, and we should continue to be upset and concerned and angry until you stop doing these things, until these things and these problems go away. And part of the problem is that as long as Donald Trump is president, it will be very, very prevalent in everybody's minds. And we shouldn't just ignore it and brush it aside. One of the reasons why America is suffering from Donald Trump is because they ignored him and brushed him aside and didn't take what he was saying seriously. And then on the other hand, a lot of these problems aren't going to go away just because Donald Trump is out of office. the problems don't go away when Donald Trump goes away. Donald Trump is is a partial culmination of the problems that exist in the system, right? The system has not done its job the way it's supposed to do its job, so you have Donald Trump. If the system was working the way it should be working, then you shouldn't have a Donald Trump. But the system in America is not. So even when Donald Trump is gone, there's no reason for Canadians to think that you're not just going to get another one or get somebody worse than Donald Trump. And you got your free pass. You got Donald Trump in 2016 when he started trying to do the same shit. And you got your free pass, and we were like, okay, well, he's gone. So, but now you're going to tell us, you're going to sell us the same fucking horseshit again and be like, well, Donald Trump will be out of office. And once he's out of office, all this goes away and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Oh, whoops, we voted in Donald Trump again. Oh, whoops. Yeah, don't worry about that 51st state thing. That's never gonna happen. Just don't worry. You're silly. Just pat you on the head. It's fine. No, fuck you. No, Canadians are angry. Canadians should be angry. And Canadians should have every right to fucking defend themselves. And trying to placate them with bullshit. That was the same bullshit you said in 2016. There's nothing stopping you from getting another Trump. Even if you're like, oh, well, he can't run again, even though he's going to try to circumvent that, like he's been circumventing a lot of things. Even if you succeed in not allowing Donald Trump to run for a third term by whatever means that is, whether he fucking dies of a heart attack or whether he's legally stopped from running again or whatever, that's not the problem. There is nothing stopping somebody equally as fascist from doing the same thing. So yeah, patting Canadian. This is a message to Canada. Thank you, Canada, for insulin. Thank you, Canada, for basketball. Thank you, Canada, for fighting in some wars we were in. We really appreciate that you fought in our wars like World War I and World War II, even though we joined World War II super duper late. Thank you, Canada, as I completely misunderstand and misrepresent your history. But don't worry about that 51st state stuff.
That your brave firefighters were willing to come down and battle those blazes, and I know I speak for everyone in Southern California, if not all of California, when I say that. Now, I know that your Prime Minister has recently said that the relationship between the United States and Canada is over. And it pained me to hear those words, even as I understood the anger behind them. But
Aw, it hurt his feelings.
Southern California, if not all of California, when I say that. Now, I know that your Prime Minister has recently said that the relationship between the United States and Canada is over. And it pained me to hear those words, even as I understood the anger behind them. But I
think you might be incredibly foolish if you think what's behind it is anger. We're not saying these things because we're mad. We're saying these things because we're smart. We're saying these things because we recognize an abusive fucking relationship when we see one. Yes, Canadians are mad, and yes, Canadians have every right to be mad, but we're not saying things out of anger that we're just gonna take back later. The things that Carney is saying right now, and the way Canadians are feeling right now, are calculated. It's not rhetoric. The same way the 51st state shit wasn't just rhetoric. Canada is saying that because even if America tries to go backwards, there has been damage that is not going to be rectified, and there are agreements that are not being met. Illegally so. The trust is broken. Period. End of sentence. And you can't have a relationship like we have had between Canada and America without that trust. And so because that trust no longer exists, the relationships as they were, they're done. And like I said, you're talking about 150 years in a changed political structure, showing that this political structure actually functions to even begin to regain that trust. Quoting John F. Kennedy about not one man being able to tear it apart, Trump isn't one man doing this. It's your entire fucking system doing it. It is your whole ass government. And a large portion of your country's people. It's not that we're saying things out of anger, that we're just like, oh, well, we were just angry, and so well, it's fine. Trump's gone, they took it back. Yeah, no, our relationship can just go back to what it... No, you're not getting it. You're not understanding. This video is incredibly tone deaf.
Hope and have confidence that our relationship is not over, even though it will take time to mend. And I say that because one thing I know about my Canadian friends, and that is through thick and thin, you are the best of neighbors.
Bitch! So what? So what do you mean? What are you saying? We know that through thick and thin, you're just gonna roll over and forgive us anyway and let us keep doing whatever we're gonna do. No, that's not how it fucking works, dude. He seems to be equating the relationship as it is now being over to saying that Canada's never gonna send firefighters to California ever again. Of course we would send firefighters to California again in an emergency, because we're nice guys and we're really great neighbors. But that doesn't mean we're gonna keep selling you oil at a discounted price. Which is what we do. Good God. Unbelievable. Oh, he keeps going. Good.
Hey everybody, so I started to make these nightly videos because I kept hearing from people with...
Oh no, he's gonna say like and subscribe. No, please, no.
Everything going on, it'd be nice to have some explanation at the end of the day that helps make sense of it all. So that's what I've tried to do, but I would love your feedback, and if you'd like to continue the conversation, please join along. But let me know, are there subjects you want me to cover? Are there movie clips you want me to include? As you can tell, I'm a movie fan, but I hope we'll get to continue the conversation and welcome your feedback.
Okay, thank God he didn't say like and subscribe. At least he didn't say like and subscribe. That was bad. That was really bad. I can appreciate like the idea of having like a congressperson or having like a senator come on to like an accessible place like a YouTube channel and chat and be chill about stuff. Like, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. I also understand that Adam Schiff is in the I mean, they're not even anti-Trump. He's been fighting against like this MAGA situation, and he is certainly not on the Republican side. Don't talk to us. Don't. Just stop it. This is really bad. That was really bad. It was really bad. It was really tone deaf. It didn't seem to have any actual understanding of where Canadians are coming from. Like, you know the difference between when somebody is trying to have a conversation with you and then when somebody just wants to talk to you so that way you'll just do whatever they want you to do? That's what that felt like. That was real bad. I'm gonna refill my tea real quick. That was... I don't know any Canadian that I could show that to, and their response wouldn't be, "Oh, fuck off," and would have stopped watching the video within 2 minutes. I think every Canadian that if I were to pull that up and show that to them, they would respond with "fuck off" with it and stop the video within 2 minutes, if not shorter. God. You know, one of the best things about brewing tea is that it gives you a second to think. And I think the word for my conclusion on Adam Schiff's video talking to Canadians is the audacity. The audacity of this American politician to think that he gets to tell Canadians how they feel, how they should feel, what they're going to do in the future, and that they're just being emotional. You're just mad right now. But and then using our identity as being a good neighbor and being just generally friendly people as an excuse to abuse, or a way to abuse us. To just be like, oh yeah, but you know, our relationship's not over. You're our neighbor. You love us. So you wouldn't. You're just gonna let whatever happens, you're just gonna weather whatever Donald Trump does, and then we're just gonna go back to having whatever great relationship we had before. And it's like, no. Fuck you. The audacity. Like, who does this fucking wimpy water need fucking, like, where are you in your own country? Donald Trump is you. It's a you problem. Are you standing up and filibustering for fucking 25 hours? Are you proposing things? Are you putting those things forward? Why are you thinking you have anything to say to us right now? The answer is you don't. Get in your own lane. Go fix it. Then maybe we'll fucking give a shit about what you have to say. It's just the audacity. The absolute audacity. The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. Like, It's rude. It's ignorant. It's cruel to a degree. Like, it's not... Clean your own house before you tell us what... You know what? It's this. It's this.
My home uninvited and tell me how I should arrange my furniture. What a fool you are! Skeleton divine!